All right, buddy. Where are we going this week? Huh? Where are we going this week? Is it Japan? Is it Japan? No. Is it Germany? No. Is it USA? No. It's China. China. Well, that's right. Going to China because we're talking Viltrox. That's right. It's a Viltrox adapter. And we're also talking about Viltrox Speed Booster. What is a speed booster, mister? Something to make you go fast. Something to make you poop faster. You're a pooping champion, let me tell you. Anyway, we're looking at a Viltrox adapter. That's a straight up adapter. EF to EFM lenses. And also a speed booster. And we'll talk about what a speed booster is. But basically, it basically takes something like a lens, a 50 millimeter lens on an APS-C, and turns it into a 56.8 lens, which is better than on this adapter because the 50 becomes an 80, right? Well, let's find out together. Is it any good? Yeah, well, it's pretty good. So grab yourself something to eat or drink, get yourself comfortable.
Now for something completely different.
And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. This week, we're back for another episode of Camera Talk. And what are we talking about this week, buddy? Well, it's not lenses. We're using lenses, but we're not talking about specific lenses. We're talking about cameras? No, we're not talking about cameras. We're using cameras, but we're not going to be talking about cameras. What are we talking about? Adapters.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not quite the adapters that you may be thinking of adapting this lens to that lens, but it kind of is, but in a kind of different way. Did that make sense?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
We're not sure. Well, just as the intro says, we're talking about Viltrox. And for anybody who's been in the industry for any length of time has probably heard the name Viltrox. Whether you own anything from them or not, it's another story. But they make a variety of different products. But how I got introduced to them was when using my Canon M50, which is an EOS M camera, which is different from a Leica M camera, very different. But the Canon M series is APS-C sensor size, so it's not a full frame sensor. And as Dylan knows, APS-C has a crop factor, right? And that, what is that crop factor, buddy? Different than everybody else's. Crop factor is what? What is it? Come on, don't be shy. 1.6. Now with Sony and Nikon and everybody else, their crop factor for APS-C is 1.5. So why is Canon 1.6? Because they're special, yeah. They want to be special, just like Mom says.
Well, isn't that special?
Well, they also have, for those obviously out there knowing in the know, they have Micro Four Thirds. It's my Panasonic over there, my Lumix, the Micro Four Thirds. And its crop factor is 2 times. So, and what does crop factor mean? Well, I have a video on that anyway. I know you don't know. But it's basically full frames here. Crop factor means you're cropping in. So APS-C would be here, and Micro Four Thirds would be here, you know, square-wise, that is. A rectangle, I should say. And so when we have APS-C cameras, such as my Canon M50, and I use a 50 millimeter lens on it, and I'm going to use my Canon Nifty 50 EF 50 millimeter 1.8. It's the nifty 50, 120 bucks, 125 bucks, depending on where you get it. It's all the plastic fantastic, even though it has a metal mount on it, so it's at least that's metal. But anyway, I'm going to be using that on my Canon M50. So a 50 millimeter on an APS-C, Canon APS-C, so a crop factor of 1.6. If I just plunk that straight onto my APS-C, it's going to be 80 millimeter equivalent of a full frame. So it's going to appear to zoom or enlarge the depth of field, so you're getting an 80 millimeter point of view. Now, if I use a Viltrox speed booster, have you heard of a speed booster? I didn't think so. Well, speed booster doesn't mean that Dylan can get on a little bicycle and go faster than before. Not that same equivalent of a speed booster. But what a speed booster does optically is it adds extra glass into the equation, which magnifies the view of what the camera sees through the lens by 0, and again, times. So we got the crop factor times 1.6, and then with the speed adapter, we're now also multiplying by 0.71 times.
I hate math.
So what that boils down to is that same 50 millimeter lens through an APS-C sensor with a speed booster now is the equivalent of a 56.8 millimeter lens. So it's not quite one for one. A 50 is not a 50, but 56.8 is very different than 80. Yeah. So I'll show you the difference with them, but you know, again, it's a way for APS-C users to be able to kind of cheat the system, I guess, and get a somewhat equivalent full frame view using their glass. Now these speed boosters, like the one I have, I only have one, but the Viltrox makes a number of them. But the one I have is for Canon EF lenses, and there's a boatload of them. And they work for both zoom as well as fixed focal length. You know, and how do they do that? Well, there's electronics on the back side. So they have, again, the little gold-plated connectors that enable the adapter to talk to or communicate with the camera. So it tells it, you know, what lens is on there. It gives it the EXIF or EXIF information, you know, your shutter speed and your aperture, you know, whatnot. It allows for image stabilization if the lens has it. It'll communicate that through the connector as well to the camera. Also autofocus. So it again takes an EF for this adapter, takes an EF lens and lets it perform just the way it would on a full frame Canon product, you know, camera, but on an APS-C camera body. So again, it's cool. It's only again, the speed booster is $156 as of today, you know, for me, for that price, you know, especially if you've got a collection of EF lenses already, instead of having to get rid of them and, you know, lose that initial investment, if you've got an APS-C camera, again, whether it's Sony or Nikon or Fuji, anyway, you can adapt it to those cameras through a Viltrox speed booster, and that's kind of cool, right? Yeah. Well, you don't think it's cool?
Don't care.
Well, you don't even know what cool is, you know, at your age. He just turned 3 last week, by the way, last Saturday. So, hey, happy belated birthday. So, now that you're a 3-year-old, now you know everything, but you don't know anything. So, yeah. Anyway, so I have two. I have a Viltrox just a regular adapter, EF to EOS M, but it has no glass in it. It's just a straight up adapter. So again, if I put my 50 Nifty 50 on my Canon M50 here, it acts as an 80 millimeter. I have the speed booster, which actually has glass, has optics in there, and again, it takes that 50 and turns it into a 56.8. So I have both. Now, of course, you don't, if you're not interested in the autofocus or stabilization or the EXIF information, then you can also get a much cheaper version, get a little Chinese metal adapter.
Ancient Chinese secret.
It's just basically spaced appropriately to give you that same focal length, that 80 millimeter focal length for your 50. But anyhow, what else can I say about? Well, the speed booster itself. Again, it adapts for Viltrox one. Now I can't speak for other speed boosters that are out there because there are other companies that make them. But for Viltrox, they make them for Canon. Since I'm using Canon here, I'll use that as an example. The EOS M line starts with an M, then M2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 100. There's a number of EF-M cameras that are going to be phased out.
What? No.
Sooner or later, because obviously Canon wants everybody to use their EOS R system that they're putting out there. So who knows how long this will last for me, even though I've got a bunch of lenses and everything else, the EFM lenses themselves. So anyway, but what else can I say? So they, it adapts not just EF lenses, but third-party manufacturers also. So the Tamrons, the Sigmas, Yongnuo company that makes lenses with EFM mounts also work with this adapter too. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. And of course, they don't cover every single EF lens that's out there, but it's quite an extensive collection. And they update their firmware through a micro, turn sideways, mister, through a micro USB port, which is, where is it? It is on the inside. You probably can't see it from there, but I'll show you a close-up picture of it in a second. And what? You want to play with it? Oh, sorry, buddy, but no playing with the camera stuff today. So, it's glass. It's got glass in it. So it's 4 elements and 4 groups. It's 145 grams. So it's obviously not going to add a lot of weight to it. Comes with a connector too, which you can take off. But you can mount that directly to your tripod in case you got some monster EFM or EF glass on there that's very front heavy. You don't want to break or risk breaking the mount. So adapt it to your tripod that way. So it's pretty much equipped for just about everything, right? What else can I think of? Can you think of anything else? No? I pretty much covered everything about it. I think so too. And this is the second model, so it's the M2 for Mark II, I guess, or Model 2. Who knows what the M stands for, really? Again, it's from China, so who knows what the Chinese are thinking when they do these things. So let me get you some samples. So again, I'm going to use my my Canon M50 here, and I'll start with just the regular adapter. So I will plunk that on here like this. Boop. Now it's added. And then I'll mount the Nifty 50 on there and light it up, right? All right, so hopefully everything is set the way it should be. And la la, and I can feel the autofocus going back and forth already on it, so very cool. So what I'm going to do is take a photo of the camera that I'm using to film this video, which is a Sony a7R II, and it has a vintage lens on it. It's got an FD, speaking of Canon FD 24 millimeter f2 on it. So I'll take a picture of that from here, and I'm just under 2 meters away just to show you what that looks like. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. 1, 2, 3. But it's on timer. What the fuck? Go figure. Hang on, wait for it to click. There we go. There's always something, right, Dylan? Daddy's always got something going on. There we go. So single shot. All right. So we'll try that again. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was at f3.5. Let's go down to f1.8 to show you wide open. And 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's the regular adapter, right? Now, let's see how the magic can happen, mister. And I shall remove the adapter, and it's not easy with you blocking the damn way. Yeah, I know. I'm going to do it with the other one here. Don't worry. Thanks for the reminder, but I'm not going to forget. So this is all right. So this is the speed booster. So we'll put that on there. Take the cap off. Take the Nifty 50. Plunk that on there, and yeah, voila. So here we have, and actually let's do the same order we did last time, since Daddy wasn't paying attention and didn't notice that I was at 3.5, but let's do 3.5. All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And now let's bring it down to 1.8 and do it again. 1, 2, 3. No, don't jump. Otherwise, you make it blurry. Yeah, whoever taught you how to take pictures anyway. So that was, again, that was, well, let me put the front on there. So that was what it looks like from here. Now let me show you some of the same thing, but photos of our little superstar model here, Mr. Dylan, right? So we're going to show you with just the straight up adapter, you know, no glass involved, no speed booster. So this is what it looks like. Dylan at, let's do wide open. Let's do f1.8, huh? Yeah, 1.8. All right, here's Dylan at 1.8. What do you think of that one? You don't like it? You'd rather have the speed booster? Yeah? You don't want that one either? Well, you don't want anything. You're no fun. So here's Dylan with the speed booster now to show you the difference. Same lens, 50 millimeter, but now it's with the equivalent of 56.8 at f1.8. Now, the only other thing is random crap, right? But because this is not a lens review or anything else, we're not going to show you random crap using this lens because that just is what it is. What exactly are you talking about? Are you trying to share your inner thoughts with us? Do you have any inner thoughts? You don't know anything. So anyway, that was the Viltrox Speed Booster. Should they get it? You think they should buy one? No.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
Boy, Viltrox is hating you at the moment. You're negative on everything. Well, I would recommend if you have an APS-C and you have some, EF glass and whatnot. Again, if it's other adapters out there too that could adapt, other manufacturers. But for those who have been playing in Canon world for a long time,
the wonderful world of Camerland,
and have a bunch of EF of glass laying around, and now you're using the R system, or you've moved on to Sony or whatever else, and now your EF glass is collecting dust.
Ew!
Get yourself one of these speed boosters, or a straight up adapter. I mean, if you got a full frame, Sony or another Canon, whatnot, you can get adapters so you can use your EF lenses anyway. But I'm talking about if you got an APS-C or Micro Four Thirds, you can adapt the glass to that system that you have. So anyway, for 156 bucks, I say why not, right? Some of the other ones are a little more expensive. I think like the Nikon and Fuji and whatnot, I think are around 200 bucks. But anyway, go to Viltrox.com and check their price from there. All right, so I think that was about it as far as we could talk about with Viltrox. Dylan doesn't recommend it, but Dr. Scott does. So it's a Dylan versus Daddy competition. I'm still bigger than you, so I can beat you. That's right. So, how about we give our little plug for our photo editing software? Who do we use? We use Luminar. Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. What does AI stand for, mister? You don't know? Come on, we'll make a guess. AI is 1, 2, 3.
No!
No, it's not that. You and your smarty pants guessing at nothing. You are artificial intelligence. Yeah. That kind of chat GDP thing. Yeah. I gotta talk to my students about that. But anyway, why should they use it? Well, with that artificial intelligence, it makes it pretty easy, right? One-stop shop, click, 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 and the software does a lot of the stuff for you. Saves a lot of time for people like me who don't like to waste a lot of time on editing photos, especially when you've got boatloads of them to edit. So it's great in that respect. I mean, they have dust and spot removal. They have power line removal. They have scenery lighting. Background removal. They have, yeah, well, he's a Luminar expert, this guy.
I'm a very stable genius.
And anyway, there's all kinds of other stuff. You could just check them out yourself. But they're economical. It's the other one. The other one that I like is the fact that they doesn't cost anything compared to Lightroom and the others that are out there. Caption One. So, it's economical. Would you like to save 10 bucks if you get yourself a copy? Click below. In the description, there's a link in the description below that will save you 10 bucks. So hey, if it's only 70 or 80 bucks, why not save 10 more, right? And what do they do with that 10 bucks, mister? If they buy through our link and they save 10 bucks, what do they do with that 10 bucks? No. No, you don't know what they do with it? Well, they give it to us. That's right, because we did our little plug for Luminar, so they pay us off with that $10 savings that you get is passed on to me. Well, passed on to Dylan. Shh, it's really passed on to me, but we'll let him think it's him. And what do you get with that? What's that called? It's called kickback! Yeah! Kickback. And one day, if you save enough of your kickback, how much do you think you'll have in the bank? How much do you have in the bank? $1 million.
$1 million.
Uh-huh. That's right. And then when you're a millionaire, you're going to share that with Daddy? Huh? You going to share it with Daddy? No. You going to share it with Mommy? No. You going to share it with your girlfriends? I know you. You're going to give it all to the girls, aren't you? Yeah, you can have all kinds of wild, crazy parties and stuff. Just going to wait for Mommy and Daddy to go on vacation. You'll call all your friends over and have these wild Mazzola parties and put plastic sheets across the floor so you don't make messes on the furniture and everything else. I know you, crazy little wild, crazy man.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
All right, so other than that, so get yourself a copy of Luminar. What else can we say? Who are we? We haven't talked about us yet. Oh, I'm Dr. Scott. You're Dylan.
I'm Spartacus!
And together we're all Modesty Photography. That's right, we're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, different products, vintage lenses, vintage cameras, different systems. Like today, talking about Viltrox speed boosters, that kind of stuff. So, but why do we do that?
What the fuck is wrong with you? I can't remember this shit.
Because, just like we tell my students at school, you belong here. That's right. And we also do it for Dylan's future, so we can, when he's a teenager, when his friends are all over and he's trying to act all cool and stuff, we can pull out these videos. And show him what Dylan was like when he was a 3-year-old. That's right. Revenge, mister, for all those crappy nights you made us stay up late and all that terrible behavior at the restaurants and so on and so on, throwing up on the bed and oh man, yeah, the joys of having children. I know you trying to pretend none of this is true. So anyway, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for listening. Thanks for getting yourself a copy of Luminar through our link. Thanks for just being you. That's right. So come on back next week because, you know, we do this every Friday. And remember, it's Vietnam time because here we are in Vietnam. Rain is always coming down, right? Rainy season's coming very soon. And what else can we say? Well, I think that was pretty much about it, right? So, what's the name of our show, buddy? This was... No, we can't do that yet. We're not ready for saying goodbye. We didn't even talk about helping us out with our YouTube channel, did we? Oh my God, see? You got me all distracted with you and your you. So how about you support our channel and subscribe? That's right, how about this hand? And we'll do subscribe. And with 2 hands, 4 hands. You're not strong enough to pull me in, you little wuss. Look at you trying to tighten your subscribe. That's right. And what does YouTube like besides subscribers? What else do they like?
There he is.
They like the thumbs up? Yeah, they do. So let's trade off. You give us a thumbs up for a like, and we'll show you a little clip of the thumbs up girls, right? Dylan's favorite part of the show. He's got a thing for the blonde one in the front. So how about we do a little preview? Ready? Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. All right, you're a beautiful singer, or hummer, or whatever you're claiming to be. So anyway, so that was that. Wow, we got this all out of order, don't we? Woo! So, what's the name of our show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. What is that? You could say Dylan. It was like, So, all right. So we'll see you next week, and take care out there. Watch this new COVID variant that's out there. Be safe with it, right? All right. So, are you ready to say bye-bye?
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Here I